All right, well, Sean, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Everybody here is Sean Dillman, and we're ready to listen.
Great. Okay. Hi, everybody. Yeah, it's great to be here. Okay. You see here where it says North Dallas Bar Association? Just to make sure. Yep, I'm seeing some nodding heads. I'm going to give you the link to this website. I'll put it in the chat. So if you want to go here, I made a sub page on my website, seandillman.com. So it actually has the presentation slides that I'll be using and potentially these documents. When I give this presentation, I'm always kind of ready to be more solicitor focused if that's what the audience wants, or more litigation focused if that's what the audience wants. So far, I feel like I'm hearing more family law litigation in this group. Is that generally accurate, or is it kind of a varied practice? More litigation focused? Yeah. Okay, so we'll go with that. If you click here, these are the slides, but I'll just walk you through them using PowerPoint or Adobe Acrobat, pardon me. This is the structure of what I want to do for you. Number one, I'm just going to introduce myself briefly. I've already started to do that. And then number two, because we have a small audience, I was actually hoping that what we could do is take some specific questions that any of you may have. When I'm using Microsoft Word, this always happens and it really drives me nuts. And how could I fix that? That kind of thing. And then if we don't have enough of that, I'm happy to present. I've got lots of prepared materials that I can go through. And then number three is I've got all kinds of resources that I've produced. So this is about me. This is kind of my tech lawyer bio. I have different bios for different facets, but essentially in 1994, I was 10 years old. That's when I got my first computer. After I got out of high school, I went to college to study computers. Then I was a technician for IBM for about 3 years, and from then I've always fixed computers for family or friends or kind of as a contractor. I did my undergrad in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I graduated top 3% of my class, summa cum laude. They put my name in the Toronto Star with about 30 other people that got, high grades. I moved out here to where I live now in Victoria. I was called to the bar in 2016. I've been in private practice ever since then. Until now, I've actually recently took a position. I'll be working as a government lawyer doing litigation work with the British Columbia Attorney General Office. But I've been doing mostly private practice, litigation, solicitors work, company law, wills, estates, motor vehicle collisions, personal injury, not so much family law, but I've done it, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, generally speaking, I regularly speak at different law firms, schools, for bar associations, CLE providers. So that takes us to slide number four, and I'll stop talking soon because I'll be passing it over to you for a moment. So I do have already a full 1 hour presentation on YouTube called Word for Lawyers. You can visit this link. You can either just search for it, you can go to my YouTube page, you can click it in the document, whatever works for you. Actually, you know what? It's also on this website. If you scroll down, it's at the bottom of it. So there's lots of ways to get to it. So the reason that I want to give you that resource is because if you would like to look at that on your own time at a different time, that resource is there, and I think it's great. So that brings us to number three. I will stop talking for a moment. Actually, I will say the note below, which is I'm not perfect. I don't know everything about Word. I know a lot about it, but if there's anything I don't know, I'll try to figure it out and get back to you. And if you know something that I don't, like, hey, click that little button and then do this, I'm happy to learn too. So without further ado, does anybody have a specific kind of question that they want to know about with respect to Microsoft Word? Like, whenever I do this, this happens, or how do I do that? If anybody has one of those, please let me know now, and then I can we can look at that.
So my main question about Word is there a good way to convert WordPerfect documents? Because there's those lawyers who just won't and or open them up or whatever, and I haven't figured that
Yeah.
out yet. That would be
Yeah.
mine.
Okay, that's a great question. So, I don't have WordPerfect on any of my computers, and I don't have any Word. Actually, that's not true. I potentially have a WordPerfect document, but I'd have to dig, and I wouldn't be able to pull it up right now. But as I recall, what I would always see happen is I would bring up in Microsoft Word, because Word is such a, I don't know, I guess I would call it powerful, robust, call what you will. I feel like I would always just go to File, Open, and I would be able to open Like, does it tell you the types? Browse. Aha. Um, so file all. So okay. So looking here, opening up a sub window, or the open window, open. It seems that it'll open WordPerfect version 5 documents, WordPerfect version 6. It might even do earlier. And when you open a WordPerfect file, I wish I had one, because seeing is so much better. A picture's worth 1,000 words. But whenever I would open WordPerfect documents, I definitely noticed that it was lacking in formatting. Like I would open a document that would look like, oh, pardon me, that would look like this. It was perfectly formatted, and something like that. And then I'd open it up and it would look like this or something, and it was like, oh no, right? Like I don't want to have to go and reformat the whole document. But I'm not aware of anything like, for me, I always felt kind of fortunate that Word would open it in the first place. Actually, now that I think about it, there may actually be an option in WordPerfect to export to a Word document that may be more friendly when you open it in Word. Is that kind of in the ballpark? I'm sorry, I don't want to lose the thread. Is that kind of helpful to begin with? Do you have like something else? Am I in the area?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and poke around with it, but usually I just can't even get it to open. But then, yeah, the formatting would be a nightmare. And then, like the question that I just saw pop up in the comments,
Mhm.
when you're doing a PDF conversion, because a lot of times that's what I'll have. I'll have the opposing counsel who refuses to do Word,
Yeah.
send it as a PDF, and then when you convert it to Word, it's just a hot mess.
Yeah, and that's true. In my view, there's a number of reasons for that, right? Like the reason that all of us use PDF in the first place is because when we turn something into a PDF document, like actually this document's not a bad example. This PDF, the reason that I made this as a PDF is because it's kind of like locked down, right? Like most people can't go and edit a PDF document very easily. Like you can if you have Acrobat, but it's not as kind of raw or readily editable as a Microsoft Word document, which is part of the reason that we use it. There's other reasons, right? You can do form features, you can do signature blocks. It's a bit of a different animal, so to speak. But you're right. I think with respect to WordPerfect, what I would try to do, if we're talking about like occasional usage, like, oh, we have this WordPerfect file and we want to make it into a Word file, see if you can get it out of WordPerfect into Word that way, like as opposed to trying to open it using Word. See if you can use WordPerfect to save it in a more Word friendly format, or maybe even see if you can paste it into Word and maybe it'll retain that formatting. That's something I would potentially try. And then, but you are right about or whoever posted about Acrobat, right? Like when you take Acrobat and then you try to just go into like a Word document, I'll just do a new one, new blank. It makes the formatting all wonky. Obviously, I'm trying to paste from a presentation, and it doesn't know what the formatting is. But yeah, Microsoft Word and Adobe Acrobat use fairly different systems to kind of define the way that formatting works. So yeah, you're right. Often when you save from a PDF document to a Word document, the formatting just goes haywire. And in my experience, I have never really found a very reliable or kind of fail-safe method to take a PDF document and like turn it back into Word, because it's easy to turn a Word document into a PDF and then you have your same formatting. That happens all the time. It's easy, right? Because in Word there's even an option for that. They added, file, save as Adobe Acrobat PDF. We have that. Adobe, in contrast, file, save as other, like it's in export to Microsoft Word, and then they say that they support Word document or like 97 2003 era. It doesn't usually work that well, but what can you do, right? There's only so many options. So if you try these two options and if they don't do it for you, I don't really see that there's much more that you can do.